Don't forget what?
Me. Almost forgot the whole mic.
Oh, yeah. Hi, everybody. Welcome in. You can't stop us from doing a show, ever. And remember this, okay? It's not all. Sometimes when it's bad, it's gonna get better. Jerry last week, Trevon Diggs this week. Meltdowns are upon us. The one thing that gives the team hope going forward, and
It is Magic Market Monday. And we're going to talk about Deez.
Deez what? What's the biggest things wrong with this team? That's all on the Cowboys DLLS Podcast, which starts now. What's the biggest problem with these Cowboys? What are you most worried about or upset about? Deez what? Which part of the team are you most worried about that we got to do something about? Welcome to an edition of Deez what, which is actually going to be a little bit later in the broadcast, but I want yours throughout the show in the chat. Deez what you're most upset about? Deez offensive lineman. Deez, maybe mine is Deez Jones's. But we'll find out. We'll find out as the show goes on. Welcome in, everybody, to the Cowboys DLLS Podcast. We're happy to have you here. Please hit the like and subscribe button, or else. My name is Jeff. Next to me is my friend, former Cowboys wide receiver, Jesse Holly.
Oh, Jesse Holly went 77 yards. It must be a reality show.
These nuts is chilling.
Well, I mean, that's actually using it like you're actually just saying these nuts, and that's
These
not what I'm looking for. Like
nuts.
we're doing. Next to Jesse, you don't have a proverb or anything? No.
He's out of Proverbs. Cowboys beat him down.
Protect these nuts.
Okay. Next to him is one of the two best beat writers in the history of the Cowboys, and he's not number two. It's Clarence Hill.
If you want to win, put Pop in.
I'm going to win, put Pop in.
And Uncle Chill
Yes, Uncle Chill.
is on fumes. Took the red eye. These red eye
Yeah.
last night to get back here to be on this show for you guys.
He did that for you. I will tell you, I don't want to say this out loud, but I do think it's true. And I shouldn't say it out loud, but I do think it's true. I think once Clarence realized that you can make a career of just
Talking the words.
and not having to go do all that extra crap, Clarence don't want to go do he don't want to do that broadcast and the journalism stuff.
What do you got to do, both?
He just want to talk. He
I
wanna talk.
got to leave here and go to...
My man said, I'm getting on the red eye.
Yeah. We got issues
Yeah.
today.
I'm leaving here, going to the press conference, be there all day. This is a long day.
You're a boss. You're a monster. I'm just saying.
I'm not done.
I
I'm
know
writing. I wrote this morning. I wrote on the plane.
I know which part you like the most.
Talking.
Next to him, our analyst, X's and O's queen, 2I, Aisha Morrison.
Hello.
So, Clarence, no players came screaming out of the locker room out of the game to yell at you.
No.
good.
Zeke was mad at me a couple of weeks ago, but nobody was mad at me today. They were mad at my homeboy Mike Leslie from our sister that we partnered with. WFA.
Yeah.
I mean, it's ridiculous. And Jesse, you were a former player. I understand the emotions of raw after game. You know, the raw after losing to the 49ers again. And Dak talked about it, the frustration. Dak said, can I use the S-H-I-T word?
We're not on TV yet, so I got,
Sure.
for
He
that.
said shit's frustrating.
Yeah.
Shit's frustrating. Those were Dak's words.
Yeah.
Shit's frustrating.
Okay, you said it three
Three
times.
times. Get it out. Get it out. Yeah, we got it.
We actually heard it first.
We got it.
CD was, he was upset because they lost, we lost these guys again. But
What city upset? No, let me stop.
But Trevon Diggs, who's come under fire for his physicality and lack of tackling and everything else, showed a lot of umbrage to the media last night.
What does that word mean? Humbrous?
Umbrage?
I don't believe that's
Umbrage?
He took umbrage?
Took umbrage.
He took umbrage?
Took umbrage with a member of the media for a tweet or X post. Umbrage.
No, if he
It's
says
umbrage.
umbrage,
Umbrage.
the problem is he did like a hubris.
Yes,
with
I did.
umbrage.
I messed it. Umbrage. He took umbrage
Yeah.
with the media. Is that the?
Hey, still look that up.
Yeah, I got you.
Yes, I
found
just
it.
want to know. I just want to know if
Umbrage.
umbrage.
Offense
found
or annoyance.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah, he was
When-
offended or
when-
annoyed.
When you lose a game, is the first thing you do social media to check whether somebody tweeted about you? I mean, because no one added you.
Right.
You check your name and see what they saying about me.
This is a new generation.
Did you check it
And-
after the one play though?
No, I was talking to Peter King.
okay, I get you. Oh, no, it's cool. I'll just wait until you see me. Yeah.
What's up?
But
Sorry.
but to go and check social media and then storm out of the locker room in full uniform like you in the Little League. I mean, he had full uniform on.
That I think that was the worst part.
And say, what did you say about me? And you
can't
don't know football. You can't
Well, he
do
said
what
that's
I
what
do.
you took out of that play because Mike Leslie said, "What is Trevon doing on this play?"
Right.
On a play where Trevon probably did his job properly.
And
Well, he
that's
didn't-
why he was pissed.
well,
and I think that's
He was still chasing the receiver when the running back, when the ball carrier was running down the sideline. Too.
The
you
dude-
could sell it as I was kind of taking my time because there was people in front of me, and so if he cut back, I was
He
here,
has a-
and I'm
He has a
ultimately like
history of
whatever.
not trying to tackle George Kittle.
Well, here's the thing: it's the same thing that happened with Jerry Jones, right? When Jerry Jones snapped on the guys at the radio,
He snapped because he was ready to snap.
but it had been
A build up.
It had been a build-up,
Right.
right? It had been just the constant of people talking about me,
Right.
talking about us, and then the frustration of us getting blown out at home,
Right.
getting embarrassed. And for Trevon, clearly, he hears it. If you know what I'm saying, if you're going to, if you just lost a game and the sweat hasn't even dried up on your face, and you go on the run because he came out with the phone in his hand.
Yes.
He came out the locker room with
But
the phone in his hand.
Why didn't he come out there looking for me? Because like I tweeted during that game without tagging him that Trevon Diggs is consistently taking on Kyle Juszczyk and giving no ground in the run game. Kudos. Why didn't he come out looking for me and be like, I searched my name and I saw you gave me props. Thank you. Why did he come out for Mike?
Because you said something
He said
positive.
positive. You were nice.
He was
But
looking
but
for
we
me.
haven't even got to the money line yet.
He was
yeah.
looking. He was looking for, and I think it's become a buildup. Like,
Yeah, it's definitely that.
and make no mistake about it, because he watches the film and they watch the film as a whole,
Yes.
as a team, as a defense, as a unit. And I'd like to believe, from my interactions with Al Harris, that he's not letting Trevon slide with that lack of tackling, because
Right.
that's not who Al Harris was as a
Right.
player.
No.
You know what I mean? So I'm thinking he's probably saying something to him as well. And then you constantly hear it over and over and over and over again. And then probably the one time, if we're being honest, probably the one time
He
when
didn't
Trevon was
deserve
in
it.
the right, or
Yeah.
he was like, hey, I was guarding my man. Like did you see the receiver down the field that I was running with? I just so happened to turn back and try to help the infantry to make this tackle, which he did, push him out of bounds eventually.
At the one.
He's like, damn, I was actually doing my job this
and
time.
that's why he was.
And now he was like, shoot, now you want to get on me?
Yeah, but in general, to just point, this is the most fire I think we've seen from him. But when you talk about some of the frustration as of right now, but I do think some of the frustration also too lies within the fact that he's not impacting the game.
Yeah.
The way
Right.
he's not getting the opportunity to impact the game in the way that he's used to and that he's experienced. I'm sure, like, he's coming back from the ACL, so I'm sure that he's still in that phase where he's trying to feel himself. So I thought some of that was the reason why too. But yeah, I mean, Diggs is very much so to himself for the most part. So for him to do that was really it felt really out of like his temperament. So yeah, like his character to do that. Because he's just not that guy. He clearly has it in him. Like he from the DMV, he ain't no soft dude. But at the same time, like to see him come out like that,
I think
it
Jesse's
is-
got it because he knows that
it's
that tweet being about him, like what is he doing on this play? And a lot of times it's because it's like you weren't tackling and you could have and you opted
haven't.
not to and
You
you're
turned
not,
down a bunch
you're
of
not showing
tackles.
physical touch.
He's
And he
turned-
knows that those could be true about him a lot. And the one time it wasn't,
Yeah.
Yeah,
he had to
is.
see it.
Right.
It's like,
And I would say this, and I didn't mean to try to
no,
cut you
you're
off,
okay.
but he did go after Dak in practice a couple of years ago. Come to B word, remember?
oh,
yeah.
no. Trevon will talk on the field.
And
He'll
he's
talk
not-
on the field.
No,
Okay,
yeah.
he'll talk
But
on the field.
off that
And
field,
the funny thing
he's-
is, during the game in the fourth quarter, he was talking trash to the sideline. Dude, it was 30-10, and he's over there talking trash. I mean, y'all couldn't see it. We was like, what is Diggs doing talking trash to the sideline?
It's just
It's crazy. So get into the money line. We didn't got to the money line
Oh, yeah.
yet.
Oh.
You
Mike
know-
was like, that's what you took from that play?
Yes.
That's what he was yelling at Mike Leslie. Is that's what you took from that play? Is what was I doing?
And also before we get there, I think also when he says that's what you took from that play, it was more so like, did you see the other
Donovan?
dude? Did you see Donovan? He's the one you should be talking about.
But he didn't say that.
Like, he didn't say that, but he was insinuating, like, is that what you took from that play?
That's what I took from it was like, the fact that I'm the last line of defense.
I'm the last line of defense.
That wasn't me.
Is that what you?
That's what he most serves like.
The guy who had 130 yards receiving that I didn't guard one time that's what you got from that play.
And he told Mike, "You can't do anything on that field." Blah blah. And Mike's like, "Well, I agree with that."
Which is true.
I agree with that.
And he's also like, "But what? But we could like, what were you doing on that play? What were you doing?" And Trevon was just kind of stuck on, "That's what you took."
And then Mike said, "Well, let's talk about it further." Yes, there's a good.
As Trayvon's walking away, like he's gonna turn back around and be like, "Absolutely."
Let's talk about it further. Let's examine this, Sky. Let's examine this.
I'm gonna
good
step
reporter.
on your
Good reporter tone. Let's examine this further.
Mm-hmm.
And he said,
what did Trayvon say when he walked away?
What did he say?
Well, Mike Leslie said, "Hey, let's talk about it."
What did Trayvon say? Say it with your chest.
I say it with my chest. What's the exact quote? I don't want to say
You know
it
the
wrong.
exact quote.
You know what the exact quote is. We can talk about what?
We can talk about these nuts.
Got you.
Oh my God. Y'all, I don't want to fall victim into y'all's foolishness. Dang, why y'all make me say it? I don't want to say it.
Got you. Listen,
I feel
Trayvon was wrong, but these nuts is never not funny to me.
It's never not funny. That's absolutely facts.
but that's how ticked off he was.
That's facts. That's
And
facts.
another thing too, like I know that I don't hear people say these nuts that much anymore.
No, that was like 8 years ago.
So he pulled that one out the well. Like
That was good.
it was
He said some, when he was in
timing
high
was
school
fantastic.
stuff.
It's locker room talk. They always, it's like guys never let some of that stuff go.
I am shocked. And they made me say it, y'all. Bring some soap to this panel right
You know what is funny? Because it's this short on Twitter or YouTube or whatever it is this guy, he father with daughters, and his daughters are going knocking on people's houses, and they're on this what do you call the screen?
The ring camera?
Ring camera. Yeah. And this little daughter is talking about these nuts. I mean, like, it's just a man thing. You're teaching your daughter these nuts. I mean, like, it has just gone viral. Everybody's saying these nuts. And the fact that Trayvon will still be...
Talk about these nuts. That's hilarious.
Nuts.
That's hilarious.
Mike's in the super chat, off topic, but as a longtime Romo defender, Jesse and others, should I be or not considering as a fan I couldn't see the everyday operations?
Mike,
should you be a Romo defender or not?
We appreciate the $5. We do. We really do appreciate it. I personally, for one, stopped reading after the I in my name.
Oh yeah, there's
when you
no
put the
I.
When you put the I in Jesse, that's where I stopped reading.
Yeah, so you take the I from Jesse's name that's not there, and you throw it to Aisha because there's 2 there, and then you'll get your eyes right. You'll have 2 over there. And
What is he saying, though? What's this?
No
I
clue.
think he's saying,
I know what he's
should I
saying.
be or not be the Romo defender that he is or was
When he's seen the
doesn't-
everyday operations.
when he doesn't know what's going on behind the scenes. I mean, I'm kind of a Romo defender and kind of a Dak defender because they're both really good NFL quarterbacks. Like, you didn't get to win the Super Bowl.
But that's my frustration. You don't have to choose Romo over Dak.
No,
You don't have to be
they're the same
one
guy.
of
They're
the.
both
You don't have
really
to
good
be one of the
quarterbacks.
other. I mean, I don't know why we have to
This
be
is
in a
sport.
camp.
This is sport.
But it's an
But
era
it's your
thing.
team. I understand outside person, Eagles fan, whatever. But why do Cowboy fans have to hate on their own? To uplift one
Because it's sport. Because if I said to you, Ricky Williams was a better running back than Earl Campbell. Like you'll see your face you just made right there. You see
Roger
that?
Craig or Ricky Williams, pick one.
You see that right there?
Yeah.
You see
But
that?
I'm not going to hate on Earl Campbell. I'm not going to hate on Ricky Williams.
But
I can talk about what makes him better.
One, you're going to have to say something probably diminishing about the other.
I can just talk about why I like this guy better.
Okay.
I think,
But I don't have to hate on Earl Campbell or Ricky Williams or Jamal Charles, whoever we want, or Bijan Robinson. We can put them all and say we like. It's like Tony Dorsett, Emmitt Smith, whoever you want to pick for the Cowboys. I grew up a Tony Dorsett fan. That was my guy. Emmitt Smith is the all-time leading rusher. I like Tony Dorsett.
So you don't like Emmitt Smith?
You don't like Emmett.
Did not
There you
say
go.
that.
Why are you tearing Emmett down?
But
That's
to
Did
your,
not tear into them.
I think to
You
your
hate Emmitt
point,
Smith.
Clarence, you
No, I don't
Yes,
hate
you do.
Emmitt Smith.
Yes, you do. You hate Emmitt Smith as a runner.
And the problem is that
Why are you hating
the
on Troy
problem
Hambrick?
with the problem with the Romo Dak issue is that it's because of the failures, and so we have to justify why once somebody failed.
But I think the best thing that we could do with that is realize that it is the cure to racism. That white man failed the same way the black man failed.
And the
the
messed up
Cowboys.
part about it,
The Mexican.
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm
the
saying.
Mexican.
That's what I was getting ready to say. The funny part about it is
So it wasn't a white man.
Look, kind of like,
Damn.
excuse me?
the funny part
Gotta get a
about
white
it
quarterback
is
then.
he's half Hispanic even though he don't speak Spanish.
this is taking a turn.
Yeah. Oh, shout out to our boy Kevin Gray. Oh, okay, Kevin Gray. Okay, Kevin Gray spreading some of that Mavs money around with the super chat right there. What is the more iconic line? Fix this, Rich, or talk about these nuts?
Dez to
Ooh.
Rich Dalrymple is way better. Dez was
That
who
was-
was he
yeah.
mad at that day? He was mad at some
He was
sort of
mad
media
at one of his
aspect.
boys.
It was
Was
Ja.
it you?
It was not
One of
me.
your boys.
It was
mad at John
it was
Taylor?
Ja. It was Ja.
Yeah.
And
That's how it started. Then it was a USA Today reporter that came in and started tweeting about it. And so,
Dez was mad and yelled at the PR guy to fix
yes,
it.
man, he let the PR guy to fix it, of course.
Richard,
I
Richard's
don't
probably
know.
busy doing some
I
other
don't know.
things
I
instead of
think
trying to
I
fix
think
it.
the most iconic line is "I want me some glory hole." Personally, I'm sorry. Jerry has all the iconic lines.
Yeah,
okay?
I like off
I want
the
some more
Amazon
glory.
Prime show when you're eating a hot dog at the high school game, and I forgot which Jones says that is a hot dog. Yeah, I think it's the bun too. The hot dog boys, baby.
Nah, but fix that, Rich. That's king.
I was
That's
king
king.
of this frustrating era. Yes, for sure.
Please hit the like and subscribe button while you're here. The one thing that gives this team hope going forward, does it exist or are we crazy? It's next on the Cowboys DLLS Podcast.
And whether you're trying to get Rich to fix that ish or talk about these nuts, whatever you want to do, make sure you do it in the pair of Shady Rays. You can look cooler and if you do it in the pair of Shady Rays,
Yeah,
because if Rich is actually going to fix it, if they break, don't worry about Rich doing that. Shady Rays will do it for you. If your glasses break, if you lose them, if you decide that you do not want them anymore, you can send them back to Shady Rays and they will give you a brand new pair. But what you have to do first is get yourself a pair. Head on over to ShadyRays.com, use our promo code DLLS, and get 35% off a pair of polarized glasses. You can wear them in the summer, winter, spring, or fall, football season, basketball season, wherever it is. Shady Rays get you right and ready to go. Over 300,000 five-star reviews.
You're going to have 300,001 when I get there.
There you go. ShadyRays.com, our promo code DLLS. Go there now.
All right, let's talk about our friends at Sleeper as well, which is my favorite app, Sleeper. $100, up to $100 first deposit match if you use our promo code DLLS Boys on Sleeper. Do you want me to tell you the Sleeper picks?
Yeah, I want to hear
That I
this.
won last night?
Oh, you won.
Yeah, I won.
Let me
last
hear
night.
them.
So I went with, let's see, completed. Yeah, I hit
The over?
that's Dak Prescott
Okay.
to throw more than half an
Ooh.
interception.
Hater.
Ezekiel Elliott to get more than 7.5 carries. He got 10.
Barely.
And George Kittle more than a half a touchdown. And he did score a touchdown.
National tight end.
Bang. That's
That
how
was
you
good.
win on Sleeper. You pick, are players going to have more or less than their projected stats? It's not just NFL. You can do college, you can do NBA, you can do MLB, you can do whatever you want. It's all over the place. WNBA is on there. So if you got what it takes to make these picks, the more picks you combine, the more you can win, all the way up to 100 times your money. So get that Sleeper app. Use the code DLLS Boys to get up to a $100 match on that first deposit. Terms and conditions apply. See Sleeper's terms of use for details. Currently operational in over 25 states. Check out Sleeper today. Okay, so we were talking a little bit before the show, and
You're such a hater, too.
Hey,
bro.
great
Who's a
quote.
hater?
What do voluntary mean? That's
That is a
against the
great
Cowboys
quote.
Classic.
That is a
What do
great-
voluntary mean?
That is a good one.
that is a great quote.
I was there for that one.
God, you gonna make
I
me,
was there for that one.
we do need to go back in
Troy.
history and think of all the best
Hambrick.
Friday,
Let's do that.
we'll do quotes. We'll do our
best cowboy quotes
we'll do our
ever.
top 3 best cowboy quotes ever.
Like I bet Dion's got some. I got Michael.
top 5
I bet
apiece? Oh, as a show. I'm saying 3 apiece.
Oh, I got
3 3 apiece.
I got them all from 95
You got to get on YouTube.
on.
young
What if we
lady.
got like the top 50 from Charles Haley? Stuff he said that y'all don't even know about. We could do that. Please hit the like and subscribe button while you're here. So the Cowboys are now, you got
Hood, hood.
Washington is 6-2 because of a Hail effing Mary. Philadelphia is now 5-2, and the Cowboys have gone to 3-4. And Clarence,
We
you were
are
talking
better
about,
than the Giants, though.
we are better than the Giants.
Come on.
Now,
Glass half full.
unfortunately,
Come on, T.Y.
pretty
Glass half
sure
full now.
that you're
Glass half full.
closer to the Giants than you are to the Eagles or the Commanders in terms of how good your team is, and that's unfortunate. But, Clarence, you mentioned it before the show, like the one thing that could give you hope going forward is you still have an opportunity to take care of a lot of business against those teams, even if we're in a sad, dark place right now.
Yeah, I mean,
They haven't played
that
any of the division.
that's where the Cowboys' hope is, and that's what the players were talking about in the locker room last night, is the division. You know, and they have all these division games in front of them. Certainly, you need to get off the snide against Atlanta and get back on the winning streak, but you have some division games coming up, Philadelphia at home, some opportunities to catch up, you know, and let's be honest, the reason why the Cowboys were 12-5 the last 3 years is because they own the division. Dak has owned the division since he's been quarterback.
A lot of 5-1
you know,
and 6-0.
And I don't know if, it may be false hope this year. You know, we own the division. Like, coming into this game, we play well on the road. Well, you did play well on the road. You were beating bad teams on the road. I don't know how bad the division is this year. I don't know if it's going to be the layup it has been in past years for you to get full on this division. But that's where their hope lies, is that, yeah, they can get fat on the NFC East opponents.
I think that it's weird because we talked about it a few weeks ago. I feel like the division has caught up with you
Right.
with talent and their drafting and coaching and things like that. And I remember saying to someone the other week, like, I just feel like the NFL is like passing us by in a way. Like, from the coaching standpoint, from the schematic standpoint, how many times do we have to hear that the scheme and stuff is like archaic and blase, the way they handle free agency, just so many things. It feels like we are in neutral and everyone else is just going forward and drive. And that's what's happening in the division.
I think there's no doubt that Philadelphia has a better football team than the Cowboys do. There's no doubt whatsoever. I feel that way about Washington too, but I did watch them play the Bears, and I'm like, oh, you guys don't look so great right now. But they did manage to get a win, which is what ultimately matters, is they get to go to 6-2. I don't know. I think that the Cowboys they got lots of problems. And the biggest problem is that they don't have enough good football players. But maybe you get Parsons, Bland, maybe you could be better. Because, like, watching that game last night, part of it was that you couldn't get near Brock Purdy.
No.
I mean, you could send 5 or 6 and you weren't getting near Brock Purdy. And like everything changed without Micah Parsons.
Except at the end, at one time, they unleashed 1-3.
They sent too many to block, and Purdy didn't know. He was unblocked. He didn't beat nobody.
He beat somebody. He got there.
Yeah,
and
he ran past somebody. He didn't beat anybody.
The funny thing is, he did to Jeff Heath. He killed the quarterback. And I'm like, how did he not fumble the ball?
Yeah. Where Aaron Rodgers held on.
Yeah.
How you hold on to that? You can't even hold on when you're trying to do this, but you can hold on when you're getting destroyed.
You're right. He got destroyed. And I'm like, because the Cowboys need a turnover. They haven't been getting turnovers. But you're right. Brock Purdy had all day to wait for crossers. Tight end cross, corner, running, receivers crossing. He was just picking out his throws.
So, go ahead.
No. I was going to just give a stat on what you guys are talking about the lack of pressure. It's literally less than 5%. Like 5 out of the 8 defensive linemen have a less than 5% pass rush winning rate. Like, the only people who got pressure.
And Micah's is always like 20-something%.
Yes. And so I was just adding that to just point.
Yeah.
There's 2 parts to what you said. One, even when Micah was there and it was healthy and they were whole, it didn't matter. Right? Like, teams still did what they wanted. The good teams.
It didn't matter, but Micah would get near their quarterback.
Right.
But I also think in with coaches like Kyle Shanahan, if Micah is out there. Now, I'm not taking away anything from Micah. I do think that he is a force. But I do think
You're not going to call pass play?
no, you just game plan around it. You'll go, okay, we'll slide this way, or we'll slide the line that way. We'll double over there, because if if that means stopping him and the rest of you do nothing, then that's fine. Then we'll just game plan it to a point where we'll do what other teams do to our guys, right?
Yeah, but
like our CDs in the world. We'll just say, all right, well, make someone else have to beat us.
Right.
We'll just double Micah and we'll slide away from Micah, or we'll slide the line to Micah, or we'll roll the opposite way, or whatever it has to be. Teams will just do, and it'll eliminate. I shouldn't say eliminate. It'll alleviate him from having the game-wrecking impact that you want him to have in that situation.
You can neutralize him. You're right, but I think that great players, whether it's all you need is one play. And that's why you want him on the field.
Yeah.
He hasn't, certainly before he didn't have the impact, but there's the potential of that one play, that one sack and fumble that you're not getting with these other guys. So having him on the field.
But you wasn't getting it with him when he was healthy.
I agree, but that was 3-4 games. Over the course of the season, he's shown you that he can make those plays. He can do that sort of thing. I'm saying you have a better, obviously you're right. He didn't do it before, but you have a better chance of getting one play out of him.
You're right. Yes.
Look,
one game-changing play at a key moment with him than without him.
You're right.
And so that's why you need those type players, because you just need one play.
Yeah, I mean, and also too, one of the biggest problems with the Cowboys defensive line right now is that every matchup that they're going up against, they're going one-on-one. It's hat on hat. Nobody's really drawing double teams. And so even to your point, like if Kittle had to stay in and chip Micah, I think that would have helped out the other guys. I think that also too.
Then he probably wouldn't be wide open on a post.
That's what I'm saying. Like, so there's also too the element of like how teams have to adjust for you, how that takes away from your offense. Because listen up, on the other side of the ball, the Cowboys offense, because the tackles are struggling so bad, your tight ends are not even able to be consistent receiving threats.
Right.
Because you have, even too, when you have guys coming down in the flats and stuff, like they have to help out with these tackles so much to where you're running 11 like crazy because that's all that you can find success in. So to your point about Micah, it's just like, I mean, I agree with you that like they will figure it out, but the threat of them not having anyone that warrants a double team or chips or things like that, it's killing the rest of your defensive line right now.
I wasn't laughing at you. I was laughing when you talked about the tight ends in the flat. Like last night, I called Ferg Wingstop. Just called him Wingstop. He's all flats, fried hard.
No,
like that's all he like. No, I was just like my boy stays in the flats. Like,
that's my type.
San Francisco flies to that stuff.
Listen,
horizontal football don't work.
Because they're the check down because they have to stand in block. And Mike McCarthy talked about it last night because I was asking him about,
Tell us what he said.
He basically said they can't block him up front, okay?
Damn.
And so they have to use so many people in to block. And that's why you have 3-man routes. Everybody says, why are the 49ers got guys wide open and the Cowboys, everything is tight windows, nobody wide open? Because there's 3 guys, they're rushing 4 because they don't have to rush extra.
And you got to block 6.
And you got to use 6 people to block 4. And you got 3 men in the route against whatever is back there. There's nobody open.
Why is that?
And so.
Why is what?
Why is it?
Your tackles
Why is what?
are
I'm lobbing you. Go ahead. Why is that?
Because the tackles are struggling.
Because the players.
Because Jerry Jones.
Because of Jerry Jones.
You have to
That's
make-
a good player.
Yeah.
But the bottom line is,
Jerry Jones.
Dak's throwing the ball out the flat at the last minute, when those guys leak out. But, they have no room to throw the ball.
Yeah.
They have to use their tight ends to block.
We're cooked.
Hey, man.
We're cooked.
Dalvin cooked, about to get going.
Oh, my God.
We're cooked.
Y'all didn't think Dalvin did good?
We haven't even talked about that, have we?
Good. I'm glad we didn't waste our time.
I mean, we got the 4th segment.
I'm glad
We haven't even talked about that.
We didn't do
We haven't talked about Rico being
When are we
sick
gonna do
either.
our D's?
That's segment 3.
That's segment
Would you
3.
please
follow the order?
we prep
of
the damn
this
show.
Just pay.
If you would just, we go.
I just thought maybe we forgot to do the D's.
No,
he's
we
getting
didn't.
ready-
No,
he's getting
it's
ready
coming
to
up
tease
next.
it. He's getting ready to tease it. Just wait. Watch this. Watch this. Go ahead, Jeff.
Yeah.
What's coming up next?
We want your participation after you hit the like button and make sure that you're subscribed. We want your participation. What is the biggest issue with this team right now? Deez, what? We want your answers. We'll give you ours next on the Cowboys DLLS Podcast.
If your D's not a little no, I'm just
No.
no, we're not gonna do that. But if you are an outdoors person, which I am not, but that's okay because I'm a cookout person, right? I'm not nature. I'm not nature. I don't kayak. I don't go to the wilderness. I'm not a tailgate guy. I'm too busy covering the games. But if you are, you need the essential. You need a grill, absolutely. But what do you keep the meat in?
Well, cooler, especially a brisket.
What do you keep the brisket in? How do you keep these nuts cool? You go get you a cooler.
These meats.
How do you keep these meats?
And these drinks.
Beers.
Yeah, these
and
drinks.
these drinks. And these sodas and these waters. All of the D's that you need
Yeah.
out there.
Yep.
You got to keep that cool in a Rugged Road cooler. Go to ruggedroadoutdoors.com. There's a promo code that you can use. It's DLLS, and it'll get 10% off one of these fantastic coolers. And if you happen to be in the water, it'll float. They're cool, they're innovative, they're nice, they're durable, they're sturdy, and they should be in your possession. DLLS is the promo code, Rugged Road Outdoors. Where you go, 10% off is what you get.
And you can set it on your brand new floor from our friends at Empire Today, where you can get $350 off when you go to empiretoday.com/DLLS. Empire's philosophy, help you find what you need, not to overwhelm you with thousands of choices and substitutes. What they leave out of that selection is as important as what they put in. Their product team is out there. They're combing through all of the product samples to find the perfect styles. Their virtual floor designer is wonderful. Great way to see how new floors will look in any space. It's easy. Just snap a picture. Instantly see how new floors would look in whatever room you're wanting to put them in. That's our friends at Empire Today. $350 off.
Monday.
Schedule a free in-home estimate today, and all of our listeners can receive $350 off that discount when you use the promo code DLLS. Restrictions apply. See empiretoday.com/DLLS for details. All right, let me get my marker. We need you in the chat here. We want to know your biggest problem with the Cowboys right now is Deez what? Deez what? That's what we want to know. Get mine written down here. We'll go around the room. We'll get you all squared away. Make sure you're hitting that like and subscribe button. Is there anybody who's itching to go first?
I'll go.
Okay, sounds like Jesse's ready. Let's see if we got anybody in the chat that's got one of their D's ownership and general manager. Okay, yeah. Well, I don't know if that rolls off with D's, but it worked out. D's O-line. I guess I would say D's O-line men. But yeah, okay, y'all getting the hang of it. D's lineman is D problem. Who's sticking their nuts in an ice chest? No, but I think he's just saying you can sit on top.
No. My boy is an MMA fighter. What's his name? The one that said, remember he takes his pants off after he wins?
I don't know.
The black dude, the heavyweight dude. He's like, man, my nuts are hot.
I
You don't remember that guy?
Daniel Cormier. I have no idea.
No, it's not. The
John
other black
Jones.
guy. The other black guy.
Rampage Jackson.
The other black guy.
Who you got for the D's thing?
All right, for me, I'm going Deez Mikes.
These mics.
Deez Mikes.
Okay.
And I got the one arrow for Illinois and his other one's from Pittsburgh. Mike McCarthy and Mike Zimmer. These mics have been balls.
Oh, God.
Oh my God.
See, I say butt or ass, and you go with balls.
These mics have been balls. I said this all week long.
Footballs.
Balls. Sweaty balls, stinky balls,
When we're on
dirty
TV,
balls.
you're not going to be able to say this stuff.
That's why I'm getting it out now.
Okay.
Let me get it out my system now.
All right. It's a Magic Marker Monday.
These mics have been balls.
God, you keep saying it.
Balls. Right up under the nuts.
Raggedy,
Raggedy balls. Dusty balls.
stinky, musty,
Stank balls.
musty,
Do we have a sponsor?
Foul balls.
musty.
Musty balls.
No.
They need to be kicked in the balls.
Go into the description of what you're talking about instead of
So,
keep
here
saying
we go.
balls.
Mike, I'll start with Mike from Pittsburgh. Michael from Pittsburgh, your offensive coordinator. I asked all week long, I said, if the Cowboys are going to win this game, that Michael from Pittsburgh is going to have to get in his bag.
In the duffel.
The duffel, the Louis, the Gucci, the Fendi, the Prada, the Goyard, the Jan Sport. Give me a bag to get into.
The Birkin.
The Birkin.
He said,
Okay.
Well,
The
that's what Shabuzi's baby wants.
Yeah.
Is a Birkin.
The Birkin, the Chanel, the Celine, all of those things. He gave us a trash bag.
Okay.
Another game where you had an opportunity to, you had a week. You had a freaking week.
How about that third
Yeah,
and
mine.
five a fullback run?
You had a
On your first drive.
On your
off of the
first
bye.
drive, third and five fullback run.
Can I say something?
That
Let me-
was crazy.
No, you get it out.
Let me get this out. You had a week, Michael from Pittsburgh, to get into your bag.
Oh my God.
You could have watched football, and I keep telling you, Mike, steal. And I'm not talking about Terrence. I'm talking about stealing plays from other folks. who do this thing better than you. It is okay. But you decided not to. You decided that you were going to go back to what you thought was best, and it is balls. Talk about these nuts. Talk about how bad Michael from Pittsburgh has been calling plays.
How about that one?
And then we go to the other ball, okay? The other nut.
I think you meant the other Mike.
The other Mike, excuse
You
me.
just keep saying balls.
From Illinois.
You got a lot of balls.
Mike Zimmer. I'm out, brother. You were supposed to come and you were supposed to do something with this defense, give it some semblance of an identity, of strength, of fight, of something. And all these guys have done will go out there and poo-poo themselves.
Poo-poo.
And you thought in your wildest dreams that in this game plan, it would be a good idea to take arguably the second best tight end in all of football and line him up on multiple occasions, one-on-one, with your absolute worst cover defender in the secondary for a large majority of the game.
Say
when
that.
Kendricks guarded Debo?
And got whooped.
Say that, preacher.
And got whooped.
Sure enough.
These mics, one from Illinois and one from Pittsburgh, talk about these nuts. Y'all bad. Balls.
Aisha, what were you going to say?
Preach on, preach on.
I was gonna say.
Chest.
I was gonna say that. Man, that was a lot, Jesse. I don't know if I have anything to input anymore. I do think that Mike Zimmer.
It's called a nut drop. Nut drop.
I didn't like some of his decisions. However, I did like the beginning of the game of them coming out and at least trying to try some different things. But to your point, it was bad. And they didn't even just have 2 weeks to prepare for the San Francisco 49ers.
You've had 3 years.
Quite honest.
Every year.
because to your point, quite honestly, like their scheme is almost almost exactly the same. And they have lesser talent out there right now because they have guys missing.
And the thing is that you know coming into this game, and I'm sorry I'm being a lot of this time. I'm sorry. But you knew, Michael from Illinois, coming into this game that there wasn't going to be no Christian McCaffrey.
I don't get paid
You
per
knew
word.
coming into this game that there was not going to be any Brandon Ayuk. You knew coming into this game that there was not going to be a Juwan Jennings.
Debo went out too.
And Debo went out in this game, but
breathe.
even if you knew Debo wasn't 100%, he just coming off pneumonia, had fluid on his lungs.
But he could play, unlike Rico.
Yeah, he was George
You
Floyd mode.
knew
Couldn't
just wanna
breathe.
make
the
a scene.
one person that could have wrecked the game for you, because God darn it, he's been doing it for the last couple of years with the Cowboys. 3 touchdowns last year. No, I know y'all popped that film in and watched it during the week, and you still let the one dude who you could not let get off go ham on National Tight End Day.
National Tight End Day, yeah.
It's literally a National Tight End Day, and you let the tight end,
And
the one playmaker that they truly had on offense, you let him get loose. For the life of me, will never understand.
I would say this, that Mike McCarthy claimed they had a plan for the tight end.
Yeah, let him catch the ball.
They had a plan.
That was the plan.
They had a plan.
what was it?
I don't know what the
They
plan
couldn't-
was,
the thing
but
is-
they had a plan.
The
thing is,
plan-
You couldn't block.
They couldn't have had a plan. The reason they couldn't have had a plan is because what their plan was very, very clear. Their plan was we're going to try really, really hard, even harder than we normally do. And we load the box a lot. We're going to overload that box to try to stop them from running. When you do that, it means you're playing heavier personnel, which means that you're going to cover George Kittle with a safety or a linebacker. You're not going to cover him with a corner because you don't have that many corners on the field because you're trying to stop the run.
But you gave
if
They
you're
claimed they had all I'm saying is they claimed they had a plan.
But if you,
Concept.
I didn't like the plan in the first place because if you were gonna have a safety cover him, why that safety?
That's what I'm saying.
Like you do have a Marquise Bell, you could have had a Wanye Thomas. Like you could at
You
least.
could have went with a.
There were guys that
You could have said, you know what?
Hey,
Ayo, I'm going to kick you inside. You're going to have to guard. Trayvon, you're going to have to guard George Kittle. Like somebody.
But he always has a big game against the Cowboys. So
Yeah, because
Okay,
you line
we
him
got
up against
yours.
guys who can't guard him.
these mics.
These
These
mics.
These mics.
These
All right,
mics is a
what you
good
got,
one.
Clarence?
Thank you guys keep your D's coming in the chat. What's the biggest problem with the Cowboys? D's what? And please hit the like button while you're there. I'm embarrassed by how many we don't have. Hit it or else.
These mics.
These.
See, that was threatening. I seen your
I'll
little
go
lip go
next.
up.
Or else.
I won't be as long.
You can.
I won't be as long.
Oh, we got another segment. We
I know.
can stretch it.
You can't be as long by nature either.
I'm not gonna do this with you.
And Jesse,
I'm not gonna do this with you.
Well,
Yeah.
you apologize.
Just because you taller don't mean you longer.
When you,
Anyway,
when you
I'm not gonna
apologize
do this with you.
for how long you were going.
I'm not gonna do this
Yeah.
with you.
I don't get paid per word.
Say
as many as you
it.
want.
Say yours.
Right.
What is it? What
I'm
is
not
it?
gonna do this with
Yeah,
you.
you're true.
My check don't change.
Yeah.
These offensive and defensive linemen. Mike McCarthy talked about it last night, and you're right. He had no plan, but Mike feels he's handcuffed because they can't block nobody.
Okay.
And that's on Jerry Jones and the plan they made in the offseason to go with 2 rookies up front.
No, you don't. You don't get to blame Jerry Jones.
I'm just saying.
You're blaming the offensive and the defensive
the
line.
offensive line. They're not blocking anybody. They have no chance in the running game. They have no chance in the passing game. It's fun to watch Brock Purdy sit back there and pick out receiver and wait for a guy to cross in wide open. Dak doesn't have that liberty because of the offensive line. The running game, there's no wide open holes. They're not special backs, but there's nothing there. Dalvin Cook found out with Zeke and Rico have known all season. Ain't nowhere to run. Okay,
Dalvin's gonna be like,
there are
hey,
no holes.
Dalvin's gonna be like, hey, bro, just leave me on the practice squad.
You know,
I ain't going back out there
There's
for that
no
one,
holes. It's
brother.
funny because I asked the guy, a coach, after the game last night, walking to the bus. I said, "Does Dalvin really look good in practice?" Yes, he looks good in practice. You know why? Why does he look good in practice?
Because you don't tackle
Because you're
him,
going up against the 119th out of the 119th defensive tackle.
Exactly. You're going against the Cowboys defense. And that gets back to the defensive
Oh,
line. The
damn.
Cowboys defensive line.
Oh, damn.
Cowboys defensive line. I've talked about the tackle. I said last
Nuts.
week that Mozzie Smith was my guy who needed to show up.
Yeah.
He's the worst graded defensive tackle in football. And did he show up last night? Did y'all?
No, he got dominated. No, I think in the first half, the Cowboys had a little bit of a chance to defend the run because they were going sideways, and you had a chance for Overshown or Leofau or Golston to make an impact. The second half, they ran it right.
No, they did
effing
right down the
throat.
throat. And it's funny because I remember a couple weeks ago, I noticed it when I talked about Mozzie being in the locker room and smiling and happy, after a loss.
Yeah, but he had a good game.
Because he had a good game. He said, I don't want to be a guy to let the team down. Now, if
1
I
for
feel
25.
good, I'm holding up my end of the bargain. Well, he's no longer holding up his end of the bargain. Deez,
Offensive and defensive.
offensive and defensive lineman.
Fair. Deez play calls from Marlon in the chat. We appreciate it. Deez QB plays timid in big games.
You can't read
We got some Deez.
Brandon J had a good one that I missed. Go up a little bit.
He said,
I forgot a mic. I forgot a mic.
Solari.
Mike Solari.
Don't worry, they're all getting fired
Yeah.
together.
I forgot a mic.
They'll all be gone.
There it is right there.
Yeah, it's going to be Bill Belichick.
I didn't even bring up the Mike Solari. You're right. You're right, Brandon
Where's
J.
he from? We got to find out where he's from.
Yeah, let's find out.
Hell.
He's probably.
I was just saying words. I was just being reckless.
God.
Aisha, what's your D's?
These penalties. Because I'm sick of them. The Cowboys had 6 penalties for 30 yards, which it just felt like
That's not bad. But they're all on kick return, which is
it
weird.
is within the game. And that's the part of it. That's the point of it is it's the situations in which you're getting these penalties, how they take away big plays, how they take away momentum. And then they have 53 penalties on the season so far. When coming into the game, they were 21st in the league. I wouldn't be surprised if they're higher at this point. The penalties have quite honestly taken away from so many elements of the game. I mean, the first play of the game, that's your tone setter.
Yeah.
Tell me something. How do you do a reverse on the kickoff return?
They've been doing it.
And throw it
No,
forward?
and throw it forward. He got a penalty on that play.
He got a penalty on the play. Yeah.
He
Probably
throws it
because the guy who's literally on this roster to be a special teams ace
He
was
was-
running straight at him
Yes,
instead of in a loop around him.
Exactly.
And
I
they
mean,
had been setting
why
that
is
up
he
all
on-
year.
Why is he on the?
Yeah.
They've
why
been
is he
setting
on-
it up all year. Every kick return they've done, Goodwin runs that way behind him. They've been setting that play up all year
Do you
to pitch it forward.
Do you really think Goodwin's going to make any plays on special teams? Do you really think when they hit
He's a
pitching the
special
ball
teams ace. He's an ace.
as a tackler,
He's an
allegedly,
ace.
why is he on this roster?
No, I was
know.
upset at the special teams output
Yeah, I mean,
yesterday.
just saying.
I came into this game believing that the Cowboys had a advantage there
Mhm.
because San Fran special teams is not that great every year. But they weren't able to take advantage of any of that, and it just was chaotic. So the penalties, they're exhausting, they're tiring. I'm tired of them.
I would like to sneak mine in. My biggest issue with the Cowboys at this point, Deez what? It is
Well, here he go.
Deez Joneses is what I would go with.
All of them.
Because I do think, to your point, these mics,
Yeah.
That's tough. Who hired them?
These Joneses.
Okay. And you don't like Deez offensive line or defensive linemen.
Yeah.
Whose job is it to get those guys?
These Joneses.
Joneses?
Yeah.
Okay, so Deez Joneses.
Who paid that?
Deez Joneses. Well, they were supposed to pay Dak.
I'm just saying.
I don't want to get in. I don't want to fight about Dak today. Dak didn't play well enough. He can't afford to play not well enough, and he needs to be better. But yes, Deez Joneses. They told us. Jerry told you this was coming, but we ignored and didn't pay enough attention to the one time that he did tell us what was happening. He told you that you weren't going to have good players this year.
He told us he was all in.
He told you.
He told us he was all in too.
He told you that Dak was going to have to do more with less.
He did say that.
Because Deez Jones's favorite thing to do is not to surround their talent with talent. Their favorite thing to do is when they actually have to write big checks, which they don't do often. That's why they avoid free agency, because they're cheap. Because that requires writing checks, not just filling salary cap space. Once they've had to spend money on those players, then their next step is the setup. And this setup is for y'all to hate Dak, to hate CeeDee, to hate Diggs,
Michael?
to hate Micah. That's the setup, is they'll just say over and over and people will buy it. And I've noticed in the world recently that people just say stuff and it doesn't matter if it's true or not. They'll just say stuff because they know that people who like them will just go, absolutely, that's accurate. And so they have set you up to believe that they can't make the team better because of Dak and CeeDee. They're lying. These Joneses are the biggest problem that this team has. They don't want the team to be better, which is really weird. I can't explain why. They're not willing to risk the salary cap they had planned for 2027 to add a decent player or whatever. That's what they do.
I got one
They're
question.
business people.
I got one question before we go to break.
No, that's
He's
not how,
doing
that's
to
not
me.
how it works.
I want to do her.
That's
I
not how it
want
works.
one question.
What's your
Took my
question?
place.
Aisha.
What's your
Aisha.
question?
What did Diggs say?
He's,
Say it.
he's nuts. God, y'all stop making me say it. I don't like saying it. Oh, Jesus. He said, talk about these nuts.
Talk about these-
Oh, my God, y'all.
And Mike Solari is from California. So Mike from Pittsburgh.
Don't California my Texas.
Yeah, he California, you're Texas. Mike from Pittsburgh,
Send him home.
Mike from Illinois, and Mike from California. We're out.
All right.
I'm out.
Well, they're all getting fired.
Yeah.
Super chat here. Jesse is tripping with that Micah talk. What'd you say about Micah?
I don't know. What did I say about Mike?
Did you just make up that he said something about Micah?
No, he said that Micah wouldn't make a difference because he didn't make a difference.
Oh,
He
I'm
did-
sorry.
yeah, that's
I
what
was
he-
like,
that's
what
what-
did I say about
Has
Mike?
Dak lost a bit of competitive edge? After all, there are things more important than football, like family. I don't think Dak's lost competitive edge. I think Dak has lost the ability and maybe the willingness to run the football, though.
He can't run no more.
He can't run no more.
He
I can be
can't
there.
run no
I don't
more.
buy
I
that.
said it last.
I don't
I
buy
said
it
it last
either.
night, and I mean it, Jesse. If me, you, and Dak had a foot race, he finishes in third. I guarantee it.
No, sir.
As long as I finish
I
first.
guarantee it.
Sir,
As long as I finish
sir,
first.
sir.
You would. I think you could still run
Sir,
a
you
4.7,
cannot-
4.8.
you
I could
cannot-
turn a 4.9,
I've
and
seen-
he gonna run a 5.1.
First of all, you can't run the 4.9.
I could do a 4.9.
Let's bet $100 on it.
Okay, hold on. Let me think.
But I've seen you walk.
One hydrocodone. Well, yeah, but walking is not running.
Okay, let's bet a 4.9.
Once you get that peg leg going, that thing will roll. Ooh, we got a bet.
Oh, can we film it?
I can run for it.
Can we
gonna
record
bet.
it?
Yes.
This
I
is the
will.
content that people want to
Okay,
see.
I want to see this.
This is giving the office vibes.
I give you a crisp.
I can run for it.
Yes, it is.
Maybe.
You already shook
I'm
on it. so
worried
you
about
can't go
you.
back now.
I'm worried about you. I'm not worried about you running. I'm worried about the after.
No.
You might need to put on your PTO.
First of all, he got to
It's your
get to 40
knees.
because
You
that
can't gotta
hamstring
take care
gonna
of
do this.
yourself.
That's the problem. The hamstring is going to be my potential issue.
Listen, I already know. I've been there before.
Because I haven't sprinted in years.
Exactly.
Because my
That's why
doctor told me to stop running. But
That's
it's
why
in there.
That's why I bet.
It's
'Cause
in there,
Listen,
though.
you got to get to 40.
But it's in there.
No. You got to get
A
to
lot
40,
of
baby.
speed in there.
You got to get to 40, baby.
I've been doing Pilates.
I've been doing Pilates. Is insane.
Hey,
I'm telling you,
Walking ain't
I
gonna-
can't run no more. Jeff, you can't run 4.9 anymore. I'll wager so much. It might be true. It might be true.
We're gonna record it, so
I'm going to pop a hammy.
the
I
fans
already
want to
know
see it.
I know it.
If I do, then Dak has to show that he can run a 4.9.
Okay.
Once I pull it off,
Okay.
we got to let it be
Yeah,
known
well,
that this old dude,
We know you ain't pulling it off, so Dak ain't got nothing to worry about.
you better believe I'm going to do it by
Somebody
myself.
told you. Somebody said you're gonna miss 2 months of shows to sell your kayak.
I'm gonna get road rash when I fall down.
and sell a kayak. There you go.
I ain't seen Dak run. He ain't going nowhere.
Oh my goodness.
All right, we're gonna do the rest of the show next on the Cowboys DLLS podcast.
Pay-per-view.
And also, we're building the biggest and best community of Dallas sports fans. And did you know that we want you to be a part of that? And you are, because you're here. But so much so, we want you to be a part of our Party People Party, that we're giving a special offer, our lowest rate ever to become a diehard, a DLLS diehard. Do it today. $4 a month, billed annually. That's right, just $48 a year, and you get a free T-shirt, access to our exclusive written content, plenty of discounts, access to our DLLS Discord lounge, where I'll probably put up my training videos as I get ready for this 40-yard dash. What if it takes me like 7 seconds?
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, I don't know how long it'll take, but we talk about all sorts of Dallas sports. Like if you're a Dallas sports psycho, DFW sports psycho, you need to be in that Discord server talking with us. We also do some wild stuff in there. It gets weird. Feet stuff, movies, video games.
These nuts? No, I'm playing.
Nuts.
Not those things.
Balls.
Let's talk about them.
Basketballs.
Let's talk about it.
Baseballs. Footballs.
Let's talk about it.
Hockey balls.
Hockey balls. Is hockey?
They don't use a ball. They use a
Volleyballs.
puck. They use a puck. But yeah, we want you to be a part of that thing. So come on in and join us. You need to get in the Discord server. That's what, hold on. Let me shout out. I'm pretty sure we had a few that popped in last night. Let me see if I can find them.
Card. Don't forget about.
Oh yeah, you
the
get to
card.
carry
That
it.
VIP
You get to carry
card.
that card. You can slap it down like
Yeah, you get to
Big
carry-
Joker.
I haven't had the
You know what I
VIP
mean?
part since Peeping Toms.
Like,
Yeah, you get to carry a card.
Y'all.
What did you just say, bro?
Are you still
Let it
doing it?
pass. When you come to the event and you get to the gate and they say, "Hey, you coming in?" You smack that card down on the table like Bidwiz. And you
Can I?
I don't remember the post.
remember.
Shout out to the 4 people who joined last night. I don't
Shout out to
know
you
what it
guys.
was. Bobby posted it. It was an important announcement. So
Yeah.
I'm going to find him.
We love you.
I'm going to shout him out.
All the 4 people. Well, all the 4 people. We love you. And all of them who are already here. We love you as well. Buck. Oh, I like that. Shout out to Buck.
D,
Nuts.
Wow.
Kurt,
Oh,
and Tim.
Tim,
They became
Tiny Tim.
diehard
Thank you,
yesterday.
Jenna.
okay, Tiny Tim.
listen, and just because the Cowboys aren't winning don't mean you still can't be a diehard Cowboys fan.
The
Root for
Mavs
your
are winning.
team. Root for your team.
The Mavs are winning.
You don't have to root for your team. You
You're
can pick a
supposed to
new
root
one.
for your
You
team.
can pick a new one. But we want you to stick with the Cowboys because, like, this is who we talk about. So I'd like you to stick with the Cowboys. And here's you guys had what I think what you had to understand is what is unhealthy is suppressing emotion.
No.
So, like, you can cheer really hard for your team, and you can hate the hell out of them. You got to let that hate out, right? So hate watch us, and we'll just rage on the team,
Right, and-
you know,
and-
until they get good.
And hate what they do to you. Hate how they make you feel. Hate how they have you watching the game. I read out last night. I'm going to the flight.
How many
Met
times
a-
are you going to tell us?
No,
You got hate in your heart, let it out.
But my point is, I met a guy who flew to the game from upstate New York.
Poor guy.
Cowboy fan, upstate New York. Went to University of Niagara. He just grilled me with questions. I'm just saying that you meet people. There are Cowboy fans all over the world who are frustrated. He would look so beaten down after that game at the airport at 1 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
But he is now having to fly all the way to upstate New York. Take a connector.
And it's cold, and he hates
And
his
he
life.
wanted to be out there for the Cowboys. So, I mean, there are people support your team. Be
What fight?
frustrated. Be
What fight?
mad.
What fight did
The
you take?
red eye,
You on
man.
a red eye?
You on a red eye?
The red eye. I got red eyes.
You on the red eye?
Yeah, I
I'm
get-
just saying.
I get to your point, Clarence. Like,
Dang.
I think I empathize the most for fans.
I guarantee it. I listen
Yeah.
to Aisha watch the game. Aisha rages while she watches.
I
Listen.
empathize. No, I empathize for fans. Like, I really do, because I just feel like
I laugh.
to
I do
your,
too.
I feel bad.
I feel bad, but like once the fact that people are starting to understand like everything that really goes on and the team building, the lack thereof, and all this stuff, like
These Joneses.
I understand how people, you know, are exhausted and tired and stuff. But yeah, keep coming to see us and get it out.
Do
But
you ever-
I get it.
Do you ever empathize, just you, not you, because you were part of the team. Do you ever empathize?
I mean, I was this close to the NFL.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Do the
But-
thing again.
Yeah, I'm just
I
saying.
was super close.
Listen, do you ever empathize for the players?
I do.
Who have to
I
go
do
through it? 'Cause,
now.
you know, you cover the players. I see them daily.
Hell no.
Yes.
Why?
I didn't ask you. That's why I said you play.
That's why he not asking you.
Did I say I didn't ask you?
Yes, but I have to be. But I have
I'm
to.
just saying.
No, you're right. My
Yes, but I have to be reminded. I think it's very easy and very natural when you're watching a sports event that you don't think of the people who are out there as
human.
actual people,
Right.
right?
You
You think of them as that's the player. So if the player does a bad job, well, the way that I'm going to talk about him, I would never say to a person that I was standing in front of.
Yes.
Like when Jordan Phillips put out the worst tape I've ever seen at defensive tackle, that's factual information. But if you were standing right in front of a real life person,
Diggs.
you're not going to be like, you suck.
Let's talk about it.
Like, and it's just.
And what's he gonna say if he told you that?
These nuts.
I guess the difference is like Aisha and I are in the locker room, and I've been in the locker room since '97, and you're not necessarily in the locker room all the time, so you get to talk about and analyze their play, but you don't get to see them on a daily basis. And I'm an objective reporter, but when you're around people, you at some point you want to see them do well.
Yeah, especially look at the guys who are good at media.
know.
The
I
guys who are
agree.
good at media
Good
are
at
treated
media.
differently.
Yeah, good
They're
at
treated
media.
differently
Yeah.
because they're good to the media. Like
Yeah.
you have a
Respect.
relationship and you're not going to talk bad about them.
Yeah.
I got to know Dalton Schultz. And now when you know that you like a person, the way that you talk about them tends to be a little bit more respectful, even when it's negative.
Right.
You know, it's just the way it goes.
No doubt. And so you see what they go through, and some of them just can't play. Some of them are in bad situations and around. What did Emmett say he was surrounded by?
Diamond and the poo poo. Something about a diamond.
Save that quote for Friday, brother. Save that quote for Friday, my boy. Save that one for Friday, my boy.
That's another one.
Say that
I'm
one for
just saying,
Friday.
you look at Jason Witten had the Hall of Fame career, Zach Martin had a Hall of Fame career, and they got nothing to show for it.
Yeah.
Well,
I got like, generational wealth.
the kids are good.
Yeah,
just saying.
money wise,
in
yes,
theory.
but I'm talking about they
You can't,
ultimately
you can't screw that up.
you want to win. You want to go home with legacies. I think that sometimes that Cowboy fans fall in love with players because the team has not had success, and we overrate the Dez Bryants and the Romos and everybody else because you have to have something to latch on to.
Yeah. Yeah, that's how it is now. Whoever plays the best, we can talk about good. But nobody is any good. So it's
And they're all a part of the not winning since 1996.
well, only
Yeah.
actually I can tell you who's part of that.
While he-
I erased it. It's
while
the
he-
Joneses.
While he looks for that super chat from from Dr. J. Wait, is that my therapist? My therapist
could
name
be.
is Dr. If this is Dr. J.
That's
what's
your
up?
therapist?
It could
Well,
be.
yeah, his name is Jay, Doctor. So, hey,
It could be.
This is you. Thank you. Appreciate the show. Dr. J, how many losses before we can bench Steele and see if Guyton can play on that side and try Awesome or Chuma?
Chuma's still on IR, isn't he?
Yes,
Not
he's
ever gonna
still
let
on
him play. The hard part is that it doesn't matter. Like that's
don't.
no, honestly, that's the hard and the frustrating part is that it doesn't matter. If you thought that maybe a year from now you might be looking at Tyler Guyton as a right tackle, then hell yeah, give it a shot. But I think they're gonna keep swinging at him being the left tackle. So it's like, why would we fiddle fart around with crap like that when it's not like we're gonna be putting in guys who are good.
Another
Yeah.
super chat from Nesto302. Thank you, Nesto. It's a nice one you put in there right there. This question is for you, Pop. How do you feel about that pick call being picked up?
I feel the same way Mike McCarthy felt about it last night when I asked him about the game.
What do you
That was a pick, and they picked it up.
Oh, making
And just
mistakes.
like the last play of the game, that was pass interference.
Yeah, you're just
the
not
guy
gonna-
pushed Jalen Brooks in the back.
Yeah.
They should have got a flag.
Their feet
I
didn't get
cry.
tangled?
No,
If it
he
was-
pushed him.
If it were CD Lamb, it would have been a flag.
Yeah, that was a flag.
I thought his feet got tangled.
No, he pushed him. He pushed him in the back, and then, yes, that was a pick play. How do you throw two flags and they just pick it up?
It was a little
I
bit
mean,
of a-
and they picked it up without throwing water bottles
I'm
on
about
the
to say,
field.
you a Texas fan. You know how that happens.
Without the water.
Tony Nichols.
Last one.
Another one for you, Pop. Clarence is right. The upstate New Yorker picked the Lions game as his first at AT&T,
Oh.
was emotionally and physically exhausted.
Oh.
Still my
Still
team.
my team.
That's
Root for your
gonna-
team. There are
that's
people
gonna-
that come from all
That's
over
tough.
the world.
The
and
empath in me just
That's tough.
gets pissed off.
Yeah.
That's tough, brother.
I
That's
get
tough.
so upset.
These fans, y'all are the MVP.
But let me ask you a question, Tony. Thank you for
Yes.
the super chat.
What? Don't spend your money?
You picked the Lions game? Are you not an NFL fan?
Timeout, Jesse.
Have you not been watching?
Nah, they played the
Do you
Lions tough last
Do
year.
you remember before the season started? And yes, I'm doing this just to take a shot at a
Let's go.
coworker. Do you remember before the season started, we were picking the games?
Oh,
And
mine was ridiculous.
Somebody on this panel said the Cowboys own the Lions.
You did.
Oh, I didn't.
Oh,
I know
you
my
did.
picks were ridiculous.
Why
I didn't
don't
say
even
that.
try it?
He said,
Don't even try it.
Oh.
They did. They were 5-0 against the Lions with Dak at quarterback.
You guys have a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow. Remember, you have no idea what anyone's going through, so be cool to everyone, and we love you. Be easy.
Eliminate the contingencies.
We all silly like the mayor.